Jeannie Kelly, your credit coach, and I'm so excited to have a dear friend, Kim Weintraub, on. She's a mortgage lender and she's based out of Connecticut, but we'll find out where else she can do loans. Hi, Kim.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Of course, I'm so excited to have you. And let's knock that right out of the way. Where can you do mortgages?
So I can do mortgages in most states, but primarily I focus in Connecticut, New York, Florida, California. That's where most of my clients are, but most clients, clients call me from everywhere. It really depends.
Okay, awesome. And I always love finding out, how did you get into the mortgage industry? I've known you, my gosh, for so long, but I
So
don't
long.
even know how you got into loving the mortgage business, because you do love
It's a
it.
good story. It's a good story. I was 19 when I started in the mortgage business. I'm 43 now, so just a few years. I was in a group of friends who introduced me to the owner of the company that I started at, Luxury Mortgage in Stamford. I'm sure you know them. And I started there and built my career from there. I had nothing, started in sales, and it was hard to gain a reputation. It was hard to break into those big offices. And all it takes is one person to believe in you, and you show them what you have and you grow your business, which is what I did. I'll never forget, I was 20 years old and I was baking muffins in my kitchen on Sunday nights and dropping them off at the realtors' offices. And that's how I started. Primarily New Canaan, Darien. And then next thing you know, 5 years later, my business was pretty thriving. So it's all based on referrals and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's so nice. I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about, like
I
how
know
you
you do.
start and all those great things, but
Yeah.
also you stay in it when you're doing the right thing. So
Yep.
I always know, like when it comes to you care so much for your clients, and you're always looking out for them and all, to make sure they have the best every product with the loan for their new home. And that's why we
Absolutely.
work together, to make sure they are getting the best of the best. And
Yeah.
that's, again, I mean, when you do what you love, I always say, Kim, I love, and I don't know why I love this business so much, because yes, there's stress. People are wanting to purchase their home and they may be missing 5 points or whatever it may be.
I know.
And it's stressful, because I remember when I wanted my home, the first home,
Yeah.
what it took. And, but like when you put those pieces together of the puzzle and then you do what you love, everything else flows. And I know that's how you
Yeah.
feel.
I think it's because we love to help people, and we're doing something that helps somebody with the biggest purchase of their life, right? So you're helping them with their life. And I think that that's why people like us stay in the business. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Also, just to tell you, when you talk credit, I've been in this business 23 years, and I bought my first house, oh my gosh, what year? 2010 in Fairfield. And I'll never forget what happened to me. I don't know if you remember, but I moved into a rental once I sold my house in Fairfield,
Okay.
and a bill did not get to my new address. And it was $1 balance on I don't even remember what store it was. It was some store card, and it didn't get paid during my mortgage transaction. And my credit score dropped like 40 points. And you fixed it for me in, I think it was 4 weeks, actually less than 4 weeks. I called you in a panic, and it was unbelievable. It was a miracle. You saved me.
Oh,
So thanks.
I love that. And yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, because that's what it is. It's like
Yeah.
like that's silly, right? Sometimes we have to, I mean, these companies have to realize the silliness. And when they're putting something ridiculous like that on your credit report, it's
Yeah.
just over $1. And
It's silly, but look at it. Look what happened.
yeah, I
40
know.
points.
I know. And that's a big difference. Like I'm always saying, and
Yeah.
you talk about this because you're, looking at the papers every day. The rates matter with your scoring. It's not about, it's not about just your income. It's
No,
what is your FICO score, and it's important to try to have the highest score you possibly can. And maybe sometimes
absolutely.
it's only a 660. I mean,
Yeah,
Of course, but like if you want that jumbo purchase, and you
yeah,
really have to have that healthy score.
you do. Makes a big difference.
It totally does. Now, what's your favorite, like what mortgages do you love doing the best?
It's a tough question. I love doing all of them the best. I love a challenge. I love anything that is difficult to do. I enjoy working with all different types of clients. Right now, I'm doing a lot of 10-6 interest only mortgages. I think a lot of people are panicked, completely stressed about their payments going up because interest rates are up so much. A lot of people are doing low down payment loans, 10% down on a $2.5 million purchase. So that's been an area where we're very strong. But I love all my mortgages. I love helping everybody. It's
What
been
does
an
that
interesting
mean?
market.
Yes, sick. I don't know what that means.
It's a 10-6 interest only. So basically it's a 30-year amortization product, but it's fixed for the first 10 years. And then it will adjust in the 11th year twice based on a LIBOR and an index. I'm sorry, an index and a margin. And it's a great product for cash flow. And it's a lot of my clients who are doing jumbo mortgages have a very small base salary and they have a significant bonus. So it allows you the flexibility to pay down your mortgage when you choose to versus having to pay down the principal each month. And what's also great about it is that once you pay down the principal, your payment next billing cycle automatically adjusts based on your new principal balance, which is really nice.
That's awesome.
It's
See,
awesome. So
I just
a
learned.
lot of people are doing that.
Yeah, I had no idea. I never heard of that. That's why I'm like, huh?
Really?
Yeah, no.
Really? Wow.
Listen, I'm the credit lady. I'm not the mortgage
Wow.
expert. That's why you're here.
Well, good. Okay. Well, now you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the thing is, yes, I know rates are higher than they were, but I still do not think I mean, listen, I don't think that they're that horrible. And also, it's not just about the rate. Like if you want to purchase a home, you have to, this is what the rates are, and I know when I purchased my
So,
first home, I think my rate was like 9%. And I thought that was
so
fine.
yeah, if you look at it pre-COVID, right? So if you look at the market pre-COVID and you look at interest rates currently, the rates are pretty in line with what they were. I mean, everybody's using COVID as a benchmark, right? We had 2 years of rates that were 2 and 3%. I mean, everybody and their mother was moving out of the city. Everybody was getting mortgages, 30-year fixed rates at, 2.875, 3%. I mean, it was crazy, but
Mhm.
people are using that as a benchmark, and that's not the right benchmark to be using. I mean, it'll never happen again. I don't think it'll ever happen again. So if you look at rates from 2019, 18, they're pretty much in line with what rates are doing right now. So it's not that bad out there. I mean, I'm locking people in 4s and 5%, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And that's,
Yeah,
and just like what you're saying, like to, I mean, people didn't care even about, like I say, during that time, even though I'm so happy that the rates were low, and that's
yeah, of
great,
course.
but at the same time they weren't worried about their credit either, because
No,
not as much as they are
right,
now, because now,
right.
because they'd say, well, Jeannie, if I have to pay an extra percent because my score is a 660, oh well, because they
Mm,
were so low, where now
yeah,
this is an important conversation when it comes to credit, because the rates are up a little, and
yeah,
to me this is normal. This is,
yeah,
just like you're saying, if this is what they were before, we had a little break, and that doesn't mean don't, go for your house. I mean, every single day we're helping people, have their dream home, or,
yeah,
and go on and on and on, whatever it
yeah,
is. And I just love it.
yeah, I do
And
too.
let me ask you, Kim, because I ask everyone, how did you learn about credit? Like, what was the first thing that you ever did regarding credit?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. How did I learn about credit? I mean, I left my house at a very young age, so I had no choice but to kind of figure out how to, you know, so spend money. Like I took out a credit card. I think I was what, 18. I had been out of my house for a couple of years already. So I had a tough time with credit cards. I was young, and that's how I learned very quickly how they work. I also learned about credit repair from my boss, Michael DeBursa, who introduced us. So And I know you hold him very dear to your heart. So
I do. And talking
I
about
know you do.
making things, I mean, he is the first person who believed in me,
I
and
know.
the company. And I mean, I can't even say enough amazing things about the gentleman, because he, all the time I'm saying, thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
because it was the beginning of helping a lot of people. And with Michael DeVersa, it is one of those things where, oh, who is this? Who's this Jeanne Kelly? Because she's always at these events with Michael DeVersa, and it helped me open up a lot more doors. And so I owe so much him and my first client. And yeah, so it's true, because, sometimes you don't even know it exists, that you can play the credit game, and you just need to learn it. And I learned it the hard way too. I talk about it constantly. Like, I got in this industry because I had bad credit, because I went through a divorce. I wasn't paying attention. And then when I needed it, I couldn't even rent an apartment. That's how bad my
I get it. I get it because I was so young with credit cards. But I will say that I have learned a lot from you. I mean, I have the same conversation with clients right off the bat. Like, if you're buying a house, no new credit. If you have to open up a new credit card and you have to get a new car, call me first. I'll run it by Jeanne. Like, I'm always telling people, make no changes during the house process, right? Like, that's the rule of thumb. And if I have questions, I'm always emailing Noel or you before I tell my clients, or I advise them either way, because I'm not the expert.
Yeah.
But I've learned a lot from you. We all have.
Thank you. But listen, and it's just like, I just learned from you, and I'm like, wow, that's a miracle product. And maybe I will be purchasing something new in the state of Florida, and I'll be able to do that kind of a loan. I like it.
The best kind, I think.
Yeah, awesome. So, and let me ask you, is there any favorite book of yours that keeps you motivated? Like, anything fun like that? Because I'm a big secret lover. I talk about the power of the secret. I love that book so much. I feel like it changed my life. And so what is your favorite go-to book?
So I'm not a big reader. Mm-hmm. I don't have the attention span. My daughter kind of keeps me motivated as of now. Changing, having her in the middle of a pandemic in a crazy market changed my life. So she's definitely my motivation. I think the best thing I did as of recently, I'm not sure if this is what you want to hear, but I actually took like a old school sales course, like going back to 101, making sure you're out there with your relationships and getting on calls and writing handwritten thank you notes and taking the extra time to like drop off a bag of cookies at the office, like doing those things that we all have kind of not been doing for the past 2.5 years because of COVID. We haven't been face to face in so long. So I've been doing a lot of that, which has really helped me kind of revisit my contacts and gain new contacts and remotivate, because it's been such a strange time in our business. Right. I don't know if you feel that way.
Totally. But, I feel exactly the same. And that does. Yeah. I mean, I've been telling everyone on my team, back to basics, back to basics. And it's, like any habit, once you stop doing something, you break that habit, and we were in lockdown, right? So we weren't going, and things change. And now, everyone wants to embrace and see each other more. And it's 100% true. Like, doing that, and being able to, go into the offices and, hey, bake whatever it is and do whatever you have to do.
Yeah. So I'm getting back to basics. That's been my motivation, and my baby girl. Aww. And that's it. And my husband and my stepson. I can't forget about that.
Of course. But the baby girl, listen, when I opened up this company, it was all about Cassandra. I used to say, if I could put her on the bus every day and take her off and be able to have a roof over her head and pay her bills, that was success. And to this day, it's the same thing. Okay, it doesn't matter that, now she's older and out of the house.
Grown up.
It's still the same. It's still the same. It's like, what about Cassandra, and what's that? And, that is what motivated me during the days of slam doors in my face or hanging up. I just have to look at Cassandra and say, wait a minute,
It's your
you know,
daughter.
I need to make sure I'm providing. So
Yeah.
pure joy, right?
Yeah. Sure joy. Sure joy. Working 7 days a week. This job is 7 days a week and it's 24 hours a day. It's nights and weekends, but it gives you the flexibility of being there for the bus if you need to be. And that's huge. So
Yeah.
I love
That's
it.
success.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. It
Well,
is.
Kim, thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to have all
You're
your
welcome.
contact info on the
Great.
podcast.
Thank
But
you.
again, listen, you just mentioned it about that great product you have and so much more. So if you're looking for a loan, definitely reach out to Kim Weintraub at Citizens. I
Thank
love it.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Take
Thank
it
you.
easy,
Good to see you.
Kim.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Take it easy.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.